What's happening, people? Just on here about to review a movie. You know what? I don't care what anyone says. I love this movie, Hustle and Flow, and I know a reason why I absolutely love it. It's because not because if it was the gritty soundtrack that's in the third. No, my reason for my affinity for this movie is that I called into a radio station and won a CD for it. I won a soundtrack. It was a radio call in. I called and I got through and I won the soundtrack for Hustle and Flow. That's why I love the movie, because I won a soundtrack attached to it. That's it. I mean, all in all, we know the story. Got the struggling musician slash pimp slash drug dealer, Terrence Howard, aka DJ. He's in this house in Memphis, and he got his stable with him, and they're hustling and grinding it out in a very grimy environment too. I know that house just looked like it was musty. I was like, man, it looked like it was such a musty house. But he's up there pimping the girls and everything, and then he goes into church and he runs into an old friend of his that he used to go to school with. And they go to his church where he's like the sound guy, and he hears somebody singing. And all of a sudden, he gets a revelation. He want to do something different with his life other than pimping women and slanging weed. So what he does is, he starts to rap. He writes down everything, and he makes a makeshift studio, the whole nine. Right? It's a story of coming out from the trenches for real, and still being in there, because in the end he ended up in jail for beating up Ludacris, aka Skinny Black, for disrespecting his mixtape, and which was just crazy to begin with. Too. Your name is Skinny Black and you light skin. That's just an odd name, but okay, whatever. But all in all, in Hustle and Flow, it's just the downs and the further downs you can go in the pimping game and trying to get your record played. Period. He did end up getting one of his records played on the radio, which I must say that is a line that my wife and I use often. Okay, so yeah, and then it's quite a few movies that my wife and I we can quote and and we quote it often. But one of the best lines is one of my favorite parts of that whole movie is when they came up with the beat for Whoop That Trick. And that is something we say all the time. My wife was like, hey, you know what they can do? They can whoop that trick. That's a colloquialism we came up with our own that we use whenever we feel appropriate. But they came up with that beat. That's my favorite part of the whole movie, when they came up with the beat to it. So yeah, because that part really gets me. So he gets his tracks laid and everything. Has issues with mics and all that stuff. Has to make one of the girls do something for a new mic. It's just one of the girls leaves because she was the exotic dancer out the group, and she got fed up and she got put out by DJ because she was talking smart to him. And man, it's a gritty movie. I must say, it looked real sweaty on that set. Everyone looks so sweaty, and man, it just looks so gritty and I can't say it enough. It looks so sweaty there. I'm like, man, I know that set had to be a little bit musty. But all in all, man, I enjoyed Hustle and Flow, the movie. I mean, there's parts that I can just zone out on, go doze off immediately. But when it gets to when he makes this beat for Whoop That Trick, that's my part right there. And just and the end when he beats up Skinny Black, that part's hilarious to me too, because he does it in the bathroom, in the toilet. He shoved the tape in his mouth. I'm like, oh, that's so disrespectful, but I get it. Especially after then dropped in the toilet too. That man just peed in. Oh my goodness, the disrespect was warranted. Don't get me wrong, but man, was it gross. But that's a ultra brief review of Hustle and Flow, Mr. Whoop That Trick himself, DJ Terrence Howard. like him as an actor, him being a philosopher and all that stuff, okay, you're a little out there. But as far as him being an actor, no issues with that. I thought he did phenomenal in Hustle and Flow, as well as several other movies too. But that's a brief review of Hustle and Flow. Let me know what parts of the movie stand out to you. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment so we keep the engagement up, y'all. Peace.